Hi guys, welcome to Lee Valley and Engage. I'm Stu, and as you can see, we've made an awful lot of progress since last time. All of the track is down. We have a continuous loop all the way around the room now. So let's see how we got here. So let's carry on. So this is where we got to last time. We were just starting to plan out everything on this board into this end of the station, and we had double track on all the way around into these two boards. So the main project I'm going to be focusing on now is I'm going to focus on laying the track on this board and on this board here in the corner, and hopefully we can get all of them done. And then we'll focus on wiring up these three boards as well, because it makes sense to do the wiring all in one go. I was going to do it once, not once. I was going to do it on this board, but I decided I'll wait until the other two boards are done as well. That board also needs to be done, and we also need to fit the point motors onto it. And then we also need to continue finishing laying the track on this board, and also to lay the track on these two remaining boards as well. At the moment, I also need to sort out a couple of the joints, possibly this one here between these two boards, and also this joint between these two boards as well. There also needs to be a little bit more planning involved, because I need to work out where the back platform, where that ends over here. So that needs to be sorted out at some point before we can start laying some more of the track. So we'll do these two boards. So this board, that board, we'll do these two boards first. Then we'll move on to this one, and then we'll finish it with these two boards as well. Good news is my parcel has arrived, so we've got all of the track feeds now to hopefully to be able to get a double track around all the boards. Also going to have a few feeds left over, so that's going to be useful for wiring up the yard, and possibly making a start on that, or maybe at least on the back platform at least. Also, more point motors have come in too, so we'll be able to get some of these points set up too as well. So that's what we've got to do. So let's get cracking on with the track lane. So this is what we've got. This is the position we've got to now. We now managed to lay all the track round on all the other boards. So now we're starting to lay fresh track here on this board. I've already laid these two sections here, which is where the power feeds are and the connection to the next board. This edge needs just, these two are going to just need a little filing down, I think, just leading onto this board. So I'll have to get to that at some point. The reason why we've got the engine and the coaches is just to try and work out the platform length. So we've worked out that where we are here is that this roughly is where we're going to be having the end of the platform. So there is a line there, honestly. So that's what we're going to do for that. We've already worked out the other platform is going to be starting from there and it's going to end here. So that's for the down platform. This is the length roughly that I'm working it out with the mainline express locomotive, so in this case an A4. 6 coaches of the longest coaches, so we've got 2 Gresley coaches, a Thompson, 3 Mark 1s, and then we've also added a little PMV coach on here. This is just to add a tiny bit extra length, and then even when I'm actually doing it, I'm only having the front of the A4 to this point, not including this small section on the ramp. So really I need to lay this, and so I'm going to lay this line here where the track setter is, roughly up to the line of here, because this is where I think I've done a little bit of measuring already, and I think the platform's going to end here, but I just want to double check before we start anything. And then this is the sort of roughly the point, what the point what's going to look like. So we're going to have a trailing crossover here, and we're going to have another point which is going to be on the end of this one here, which is going to be for the second, as I just moved something across, that was in the way. So that's going to be the second goods yard, is going to be this section here, this strip. So that's going to be the lead into that. And then we're going to have to, then the double slip is here because this is going to be the connection onto the up main, and that's where the point is there as well. So that's going to be on that side, and we have to work out that in connection with where it's going to come off of this. So really working out this platform is quite critical for all of this point work. The point work has to be roughly in this position because there is a joist on the actual board. So as you can see, trying to put that in there, I don't mind the points being on it. It's just we need to make sure that where the point motors will be isn't going to be in the way. So yeah, that's roughly what we've got to do. This join will need to be relined as well. But apart from that, that's basically it. It's really coming together now. Sorry about that. There might be a little bit of work needed on this one, but that's roughly what we've got to. So we're going to have a go at getting all this track down, and hopefully working out the rest of this line. So yeah, let's get cracking on that. As you can see, now at the stage where we've got both lines in, and we've got these points. We've got 4 points here that we've had to lay in. This is the one that's going to be coming out of the back platform. There's a trailing crossover, and then this is the one that's going to go into the other goods yard. All seem to go fairly straightforward. I've also managed to adjust the board sections between this board and also that one. So this is literally the last section of track to be laid. This curve and then a straight that's going to connect up with this. There is going to be a pair of facing points here. So we're going to have, not facing points, trailing points that's going to be installed there. So that's got to be put in. And yeah, we're going to try and put them as close to the curve as possible, just so that if there is any difference between this section of track and this, where the track comes off the curve, we make sure that we've got just a nice, gentle curve back into the correct formation. This section of board where I bolted a section on, see, this is actually joined. This isn't like it's actually properly joined on. So this has been, as you can see, there's filler here. This is a big issue. It is slightly sloped downwards. So what I've done is I've raised this board higher, as you can see by the piece of card, and we're just going to try and slope it across to here. I'm going to use these pieces of set track just to try and fully extend it onto the board before actually bringing the flexi track in again. So yeah, so hopefully that should be it. We've just got a couple of sections we need to sort out in terms of electrical connections. So that will be sorted out fairly quickly with the point work mainly. But yeah, apart from that, that's it. And then it's down to the massive task of wiring it all up. It's going to be wired up temporarily. I have ordered a new controller. That obviously hasn't arrived yet. So yeah, so this is how it's going. So I'm just going to put the time lapse on and we'll see how we get on with this. So there we are. We've managed to get all of the track down. As you can see, it's all down now. I've managed to hook up all the electrics in the meantime. So we now have 2 double tracks all the way around the room. These are temporarily connected up to that controller. Just the outer line or the down line is connected, hence the WD there. And I'm just starting to run test trains around the layout, just to try and see how the joints are and everything. Had to make a couple of snaggings where the train is now on between these 2 boards. Had to change that very slightly, and same with this one. It was causing a few derailments. But yeah, just running trains around just to try and get everything going and see how it goes. And just start the fettling process. Next bit of track lane is going to be to do this back platform here, hence why the platforms are coming in, just to try and get an idea of what it's going to look like, and to start laying this section of track here and into the yard. Although I'm not 100% sure at the moment. I'm not sure if this might actually become the loco depot, but I'm having a think about it. Still might have a yard there and move the other yard to here. but we'll see what's going to happen. The marshalling node is going to have to stay here. Yeah, it's just what's going to happen. So that's what we got to do. The controller has arrived. It's a Morley's controller, Vector 03, I think it is, or 73 or something like that. Not 100% sure, but it's a Morley controller. It's one of the crawler versions, so I'm going to have to try and wire that up. Other thing to do will be to wire up the up line, so that will be okay. I've bypassed some of the track sections because at the moment I don't actually need the track sections, I just need trains running around just to test the joints and everything. So that's what we're going to do. Once the back platform is put in, then we're going to have to start thinking. I'm going to have to start thinking about some of the track sections and things to start wiring them up correctly, and also thinking about the point motors and starting to install them. So yeah, it's going to slowly change from track laying into electrics. I just want to get this tested first. Yeah, and then we'll just see how we go from there. So yeah, so thanks very much for watching. Sorry, this was it was sort of a bit polar opposite to the other one, but yeah, we thank you so much for that. Please like and subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Bye for now.